Hello and welcome to the 2025 Wisconsin Writers Association Writers Conference. We are here interviewing some of our favorite highlighted guests today. And we're going to start with Chad from the Portage County Public Library here in Stevens Point and learn a little bit more about what the Portage Library is up to, what kind of programming they have going on, and what some of their challenges are that they're facing. So maybe we'll start it off. This is Chad Daly, right?
Hello.
Why don't we start off with just telling us a little bit about, the library?
Yeah, so the as far as the history of the library goes, the very first free public library in Stevens Point was started in 1897, and then in 1904, like many libraries, we got some money from Andrew Carnegie and built the first freestanding public library in Stevens Point. Flash forward 8 decades, we became a county library system in 1982. There were various municipalities around the county that each had their own library, but then we all joined forces to become the Portage County Public Library in 1982. And then so we now have 4 locations: Stevens Point, Almond, Rosholt, and Plover. Stevens Point is the biggest and kind of the headquarters of the system. We're right downtown. We've been in the same building since 1992. And yeah, we have the other 3 around the county. So we are a county library system, which is a little bit less common in the state. So there are 72 counties in Wisconsin. 9 of them have county library systems. All of the rest are, municipal systems in towns or villages or cities. So, so we have a fun and unique mission to try and provide services all across the county and make sure our patrons in the more rural areas of the county have access to the same materials as everybody in Stevens Point, whether that's, the newest bestsellers or programming, all sorts of stuff, or even just a strong Wi-Fi signal at the branches, which can be harder to find in the rural areas of the county.
For sure. Yeah. And your job title is officially?
I am officially a library specialist. I do not have a library degree, so I can't call myself a librarian. But my job is reference. I work in our reference department and also programming. I've actually just been with the Portage County Library for about a year. I started last October. Before that, I spent about a dozen years at the Marathon County Public Library, just north of us in Wausau. So my background actually is in journalism, but then I left that field and ended up at a library, and I love it. It's a really fun job and very rewarding and always interesting, always something new.
Well, I always say librarians and library specialists are so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so my mom today is a librarian degree. I guess I'd never been paid attention. Yeah. So you've got a decade plus under your belt, kind of in and around the library system. What kind of changes have you seen over that time period when we think of a traditional library versus kind of what they are forced to morph into or evolve into?
Sure. Well, certainly the digital aspect of things, ebooks, electronic audiobooks. That just continues to grow every year. And it's wonderful. We love that. We love helping people connect to ebooks and being able to read on their phones and tablets and computers. That's great. And also just the amount of information that is available digitally. If you think of the libraries that we grew up in, they had shelves and shelves and shelves of big, thick reference books with all sorts of statistics and all of that sort of thing. A lot of that is now online and can be easily accessible, not only within the library, but a really nice thing that we always try and share with people is a lot of these resources are available from home too with the library card. So certainly the digital aspect of it, yeah. But I think there's also a lot that hasn't changed. Parents still want a place to bring their kids to find books and story times and just to be able to play in the library. Whether it's digitally or, a print copy, people still want the newest bestsellers, all of that. So, yeah, so it's, but it's also, there's some of the social aspect of it going on too. Our library certainly isn't unique in that we um, patrons come in who may need special services, might be looking for assistance, whether it's housing or health services, that sort of thing. And so that's really not something that I expected when I started working at a library. Is um, people think of, oh, you work at the library, it must be nice and quiet and you get to read books all day, and that's really not the case at all. We are part of it, especially what I do in reference. I'm constantly trying to help people connect and find information, finding information, or people sharing resources where people can find information for themselves. So and that's a part of a library, that a role as far as the library does, that I take very serious. With the age of AI upon us, I think it comes down to, some people are very happy to get answers to their questions from chat GPT or whatever, but I think people really still look to libraries and library staff to answer their questions, and there's an amount of trust there that we really take seriously. And people know that we're going to try and use whatever means we have available to answer their questions. But also to tell people that whenever we don't know the answer, we want to be upfront about that too. We don't know everything, we can't find everything, but we'll certainly do our best to do that. So I think that is a really important role. I mean, that sort of thing has always been a part of a library, and I think it still is, even though things are changing outside the library too.
So, are bookmobiles still a thing?
Some libraries do
Love
have them.
bookmobiles.
Yes.
One just drove by my house the other.
Oh,
So they are
wonderful!
definitely still a thing.
I wish we had
I
one
was
of
like,
them. That would be great. The Portage County Public Library does not have one, but it is still a thing. Some libraries do still have them. Yes.
Yeah, I grew up outside of our town, a few
Okay.
miles outside. It was a decent sized town, but they had the bookmobile, and in the summer they would come around, I think, every other Wednesday.
Okay.
And it stopped right in front of our house. And just,
Oh wow.
there's some, the smell of the bookmobile. It's like library in a can, right?
Yes.
You said that book smell, and it was packed wall to wall. Like you walk down, and there's barely enough room down the center because there's shelves of books. I still love I'd spend, 10, 20 minutes in the driver would, after a while, after a little hands,
Oh,
say, come
yeah,
on, pick one. I got the next stop.
so exciting though to
Yeah.
have all of that just at your fingertips. Portage County for a while, way back, actually had a train bookmobile. Yeah, so there was one of the ways that they would get books out around the county was load them up onto a train that happened to be going to the next town over. So,
That is real.
yeah.
that is it. I think I just wanted to sort of reiterate about how I didn't even really think about the fact about how huge the information part of what you guys do. Yes. And you know what I mean? I still think that the way I used it and still do,
Mhm.
which is more about books and less about, and it's some research, but it's usually book related research, right? And
Yes.
information and social services and navigating some of that and just
Yeah.
knowing where to go and stuff like that. It's very huge.
Absolutely. It's really important. And I mean, there's such a huge range to that too, as far as the types of information that people are looking for. I mean, it can be everything from tell me about the War of the Roses, or can you summarize the Israeli Palestinian conflict for me? To, can I get a phone number for this business? Because lots of people still don't have smartphones or computers, but they know the phone number to the library, and, we're happy to answer those questions too. So it can range from very easy questions to answer to much more complex questions as well.
Well, tell us some kind of fun program that you've got coming up that is part of something that's
Yes. Yes. Well, we just finished one this past weekend. We are part of the Central Wisconsin Book Festival, which I actually helped start when I worked for the Marathon County Public Library.
nice. Well,
Yeah. So we just had that. It was wonderful. We had all sorts of authors coming in, doing workshops and readings and signings and all of that. That is basically a year long effort with about a dozen volunteers and staff. So that was really fun. Coming up this week, our library is sponsoring a zombie walk in downtown Stevens Point.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, so we're all meeting at a park. Everybody, we're encouraging people to dress up. We're going to have a makeup table for people who don't have the means, and then we're going to do this zombie crawl through downtown over to the library and try and get some people signed up for library cards if they don't have one, and put out a display with all sorts of Halloween related material. Yeah,
What a fun idea.
yeah,
Yeah,
so-
no kidding.
Yeah.
But you know, the part about eating human meat, I mean, that part's not right part of
No.
the zombie call, right? You
Right.
draw a limit there? Okay,
Yes,
good.
that's what we
It's
draw.
a wise idea. Wise idea.
We'll have some snack, maybe graham crackers, but not brains. Yeah, so we're really looking forward to that one. In terms of other stuff, we have a talk coming up. This is the 50th anniversary of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, so we have somebody coming in to talk about that. And then, our regular stuff like book clubs. One of our branches does a watercolor class every month. We do Tai Chi, that sort of thing. One of our other branches has a weekly social hour, which is the type of thing that's relatively easy to do and host. You're just inviting people to come in and sit down and chat. But for the dozen or so people who come in for that every week, it's a really important thing, and it's a lifeline, and it's a chance for people to socialize and catch up and share snacks and all of that sort of thing. So programming is really fun. I mean, just last night at our library in Stevens Point, we had an after hours teen late night. So the library closes at 6. Teens come in at 6, and they get to hang out for a few hours in the library after it's closed, play some hide and seek in the library, watch a movie, things like that. So
That's super fun. I
yeah,
love that. Yeah.
it's a good time, and programming is something that we also take very seriously. I mean, we try and keep an eye on what else is happening in the community, so we're not duplicating things. But programming is a great way to get people into the library, to help them maybe learn some things or just have fun,
Or just meet other people.
and just meet other people. Yeah, absolutely, connect with other people and socialize, and that's part of the library's mission to be one of the hubs of the community.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, it sounds like you're doing a great job with some of the programming.
We try.
Something for all ages.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. My focus is on adult programming. We have a wonderful youth services team that does all sorts of stuff for kids. But personally, I've worked in adult programming for a while, and the library is not just for kids. We want adults to feel like the library is a place where they're welcome and can have some fun too. Yeah. Perfect.
Well, I want to thank you, Chad, for stopping
Oh,
by.
Thank you so
Taking
much for the
time to,
opportunity.
let's hear what you're going on about.
And welcome to Stevens Point. We're very happy to have you here doing this conference. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you. We're happy to be here. It's a pleasure meeting you.
all right, take care.